Hi, my dear lovely students. How are you? Welcome to this session. In this class, we are going to learn about punctuations in articles. It's a very important concept, and you're going to get a lot of insight from this video. I am Juhi Narula, and let's get started. So, in this video, we are going to talk about punctuations. But before we actually move to punctuations, let's first understand that what do we mean by a complete idea or an incomplete idea. So a complete idea is the one that can stand on its own, even if it is a part of a longer sentence. Like if I make a sentence for you, Ram is an intelligent man. So if you're able to see, this is a complete idea that can stand on its own, right? Now we come to the second part. When we talk about an incomplete idea, an incomplete idea is the one which is not able to convey the information entirely. Like if I say Thor is searching for. So what is Thor searching for? That's what we would want to explore in the sentence. So this is not able to convey the information entirely. So this is an incomplete idea. So the first one is a complete one and the second one is an incomplete one. So I hope we are sorted with what do we mean by a complete idea. A complete idea is one that's able to convey the able to convey the idea fully, and an incomplete one is which is not able to do so, right? So here are few sentences for you. Based on the discussion, quickly identify these sentences as complete or incomplete, and then we are going to start with our discussion. So let's see. T. Chawla is the minister of Badripur. So it's able to convey the entire information, an idea fully. So we call it complete idea. Take a look at the second statement. Tom is looking for. So what is Tom looking for? We don't know. So this is an incomplete idea, right? Has no superpowers. So who has no superpowers? The sentence is not able to give this information. So it is what? It is again an incomplete idea. Or if you see this, because Black Widows close the door. So then again, this is conveying just half the information. So this is again an incomplete idea. If I say he's a warrior that's able to convey the entire information, can stand on its own, so we are going to say that it is a complete idea. I hope we are clear with the concept. So this concept is going to be useful in the details which we discover and study about punctuations. So let's get started. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to put punctuation marks under various categories. So before we actually start the categories, let me quickly ask you this question, that what do we mean by a punctuation? So you must be thinking that yes, ma'am, we have encountered this term so many times in our, day-to-day discussions, and I'm sure in your junior classes, your teacher might be really pressing hard to use the punctuations rightly, right? So what are punctuations? Just think of it for a few seconds and then we begin with the discussion. So, when we talk about punctuations, punctuations are marks which you put to give pause whenever and however needed. If you want to finish the sentence and give a big pause, you're going to put a full stop. And if you want to give a quick pause, you're going to use a comma. Just few instances, right? So, you're absolutely right in thinking about what does punctuation does. Now, we are going to explore the type of punctuations. So here, let's talk about the three types of punctuations. So we have three major categories in which we put punctuations. So stop, as you can see on the screen, half stop, and go. So let's talk about the stop punctuation. So stop punctuation includes a period, which is a simple full stop, a semicolon. So this is a semicolon, right? This is a semicolon. Don't get confused with the colon. Comma plus fanboys, comma not alone but to be essentially followed by fanboys term. So I'll write it. What do we mean by fanboys? Just give me a minute. F stands for A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, S stands for so. So fanboys, this is what it means. So comma to be essentially followed by any of these terms. I'll just show you the application. Question mark you all know. And then we have exclamation point, right? So if I say, if I make a statement like this, that Ram is an intelligent boy and he works hard. So if you're able to see, Ram is an intelligent boy. Are you able to identify that it is a complete idea? That is the reason we just learned this concept. He works hard is also a complete idea, right? You're getting complete information. So you're separating two complete ideas using comma followed by and, right? So this is how we use comma followed by and to separate two complete ideas. Now, it might just come to you that, ma'am, why are we using this combination of comma and? Don't use this and just use only and. That's also grammatically correct. When you're using a combination of comma followed by and, you're using it as a punctuation mark. And we are using only and, you're using it as a conjunction. So what is the role of a conjunction? The role of a conjunction is to combine. The role of punctuation is to separate. So the grammatical functions are going to be different, but ultimately you need to understand that grammatically both these things are correct. So it depends on what is the expectation of the question. That's how you're going to decide that you use the combination of comma followed by and, or you simply use and, right? So when you have two complete ideas, you can use either of the punctuation marks that you see on the screen. Please remember comma not alone, but to be essentially followed by any of the fanboys terms. What are fanboys? They're already there on the screen and the usage I have explained. So I hope you are comfortable with the use of stop punctuation. You can pen it down. Stop punctuation is used to separate two complete ideas. And what do we include in stop punctuation? The list is already there, right? So let's further proceed. Now there is this question for you, and we are learning the concept through application. So let's see. If you're able to see, this red marked as the underlined portion which we need to rectify. So what are we going to do? Wherever we see a punctuation mark, we are going to read the statement before it. So the rules of grammar can seem confusing. So we understand that, boss, this is a complete idea. Then we read the portion after it. Different sources give different guidelines for the same situation. So this is also what? This is a complete idea. So if both the ideas are complete, we need to have a stop punctuation. So did we have comma in the stop punctuation list? No. So that is the reason A gets eliminated. So here they are just, putting one more comma after sources. So this is again one choice that can be easily eliminated. Yes, we can place a full stop because both the ideas are complete and we can use the stop punctuation, and full stop is a stop punctuation. So we can keep this. And here there is no punctuation mark. We would be needing a punctuation mark. So the correct answer is going to be C. I hope it is clear. So how do you attempt? Whenever you see a punctuation mark underlined in any of the answer choices, you read the part before and after it. If both the parts are complete, then you are going to pick a stop punctuation, right? So let's further talk about the next punctuation mark. So the next punctuation category is half stop. So what do we include in a half stop? Half stop, we include a colon and a long dash. So in stop, we had included a semicolon. Here we are putting a colon. And how do we use it? The first idea should be essentially complete. So like if I say, Juhi has many friends, right? So this is a complete idea, right? Now if I say Ram, Priya and Rajiv, so in this case, you will see that this is an incomplete idea. Ram, Priya and Rajiv on own would not be able to give you complete information, right? So the first part is complete and the later part is resting on the previous part to make sense, right? So this part is resting on the previous part to make sense. So what am I going to include? I am going to include a long dash here, right? So this is where we use the half stop punctuation, where the first idea should be complete, and after it, it can be a complete idea or an incomplete idea. Usually the idea is incomplete. Please pay attention to what I'm saying. If you have two options, and both the ideas are complete, so like you are choosing both the ideas are complete, so you have one option where there is a stop punctuation, another where there is a half stop punctuation, then you are definitely going to pick stop punctuation. In a case when both the ideas are complete and you do not have an answer choice which is having a stop punctuation, then you are going to go for half stop. Okay, I'll again repeat it. If both the parts of the sentences are complete and you have to choose between stop and half stop, please go for stop punctuation. If both the parts of the sentence or both the sentences before and after the punctuation are complete, but you do not have a stop punctuation in the answer choice, then you are going to go for half stop, right? So let's see this interesting question. Looking at the history of the punctuation can be helpful, right? The number of punctuation marks commonly used today is much smaller in the past. So are you able to see that here we are having a punctuation, and that's where we are being tested at? So I'll read the part before it. Looking at the history of punctuations can be helpful. So it is a complete idea. The number of punctuation marks commonly used today is much smaller than in the past. So this is also a complete idea. If both the parts are complete, then what is the punctuation we need to use? We need to use the stop punctuation. So here there is a comma which was not in the list of stop punctuation, which was there was a combination of comma followed by fanboys and not comma alone. So that is the reason this choice gets eliminated. Now there is no punctuation mark. We need a punctuation mark. So this gets eliminated. Comma again is something that we can't entertain. Now both the ideas are complete, but we do not have a stop punctuation. So we are going to go for half stop, and D is going to be the correct answer. I hope we are clear with the concept. Everybody just try and attempt this question again so that you are able to absorb it better. Please reattempt it, and then we are going to proceed. Okay, so I hope you are sorted. We'll quickly revise what we have learned so far. So we have talked about a complete idea, a sentence which can stand on its own, incomplete idea which cannot stand on its own. So that's very much reflected from the name itself. Then punctuation marks are used to give pause wherever and whenever needed. Then we have classified punctuation marks in two categories: stop and half stop. In stop punctuation, we include a period, we include a semicolon, a question mark, an exclamation mark, and comma followed by fanboys. F stands for, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, and S stands for so. Right? So where do you use the stop punctuation? To separate two complete ideas. Now, when we come to half stop, so half stop includes semicolon and a long dash, right? So where do we use a half stop? First idea should be essentially complete. Please pay attention, should be essentially complete, and the later idea usually depends on the previous part. Or in the case if both the ideas are complete and you do not have an option to choose stop punctuation, then you are going to go for half stop like you saw in this question, right? So let's further proceed and come to the third category of punctuation, which is the go punctuation, right? So in go punctuation, we include a comma, just a comma, or either we use no punctuation mark, right? So how do we use go punctuation? Like you use in day-to-day discussions. So if I say in the first innings, so this is innings, right? Kohli made a century. right? So in the first innings is an incomplete idea. You want to give a quick pause, so you're going to place a go punctuation mark, which is a comma in this case. Or if you don't put any punctuation mark, then also we put it in the category of go punctuation, right? So let's see how. Do attempt this question and then we are going to discuss it. Please attempt this question. Okay, so I hope you have tried the question. So let's see this. So if you will see that after 1400s there is a comma which is a go punctuation, right? Here there is a long dash which is a half stop, and here in both these cases we are using a stop punctuation. So we need to see which punctuation is uh, right, right? So after books we can see that here the punctuation mark has to be placed rightly. So we are going to read the part before and after it. So before the creation of the printing press in the 1400s, so this is an incomplete idea, right? So we know that for stop punctuation, both the ideas should be complete, right? So this is the case of stop punctuation. So in that case, since the previous idea is incomplete, we can't have stop punctuation. So very easily we can eliminate C and D. Now for half stop, we learned that the previous idea should be essentially complete, right? So we learned that the previous idea should be complete, later can be complete, later can be incomplete. So in this case, the previous idea is incomplete. So again, our condition is not satisfied. So B also goes out. So what is going to be the correct answer? A. Right? So I hope we are clear with the concept. Now we are going to proceed towards the uses of commas, right? So there are four uses of comma. So that's the next concept that we are moving towards. So the first was to talk about the punctuation categories. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly revise what we have learned so far. We talked about stop punctuation. In the stop punctuation, we said that both the ideas should be complete. So here you're going to place stop punctuation. Both the ideas should be complete. In the category, we put a full stop, an exclamation mark, a question mark, a semicolon, and comma followed by fanboys, right? So how do we use fanboys? We use fanboys like this: for, and, nor, but, or, yet. So Y stands for yet, and S stands for so, right? So that's how you use the fanboys, but it should not be comma just alone. It should be essentially followed by fanboys. So in order to separate two complete ideas, we use the stop punctuation. Now, how do we use the second one, which is half stop? So we include colon and a long dash. So first idea should be essentially complete. Later it can be incomplete or complete. But half stop is only preferred when you do not have a choice of stop punctuation, when both the ideas are complete. If both the ideas are complete and you have two answer choices, one is offering stop and another is offering half stop, definitely go for stop. If you have two answer choices, then one is offering go and another is offering half stop, then go for half stop, right? I hope I make sense. Half stop for two complete ideas should only be chosen when stop punctuation is not available to be picked up as the right answer. And the third punctuation we learned was go, that includes a comma or no punctuation mark. So this is used to give a quick pause like we use very frequently, right? So I hope we are clear with this. I'll just rub the board. and then we are going to further discuss that what do we mean by commas, I mean uses of commas, what are the various uses of commas. Very interesting concept, right? So particularly in SAT you will find a lot of questions coming from this category. Here and there in slight GMAT questions you will see the concepts being tested, right? Maybe not the major sixes, so if you talk about GMAT you might not find them in the as a major error which is tested, but in when there is an additional error introduced in the later part of the sentence, such questions can be seen, such concepts can be tested, so we should be aware, right? uh, Articles, of course, you get it in SSC and you get it in POs, and you get it at many places. But punctuation specifically is very important for SAT, ACT, and specifically when we are talking about exams which have slightly tricky questions, where you're going to find a lot of grammar based questions, and you'll find that these concepts also find importance, right? So let's see this. Comma. So there are four reasons to use a comma. First, we have already seen, like where we give a quick pause when needed as a go punctuation, right? We just took this example where we made the sentence like in the first innings, Kohli made a century. Right, so in the first innings you want to give a comma, you want to give a quick pause, so you're going to place a comma, so that's like as a go punctuation. Now, what is the second one? Second one is used when you are making a list. So that's what we usually do. Now, here there is something interesting the way the list is made. So I'll just teach you how do we do that. See, I'll just tell you how do we do that. So here, when we talk about the first use, list. So how do we make a list? We make a list like this: X, Y, and Z, right? So this is the British English that we often use. But as far as American English is concerned, you are going to place a comma even after Y, despite the fact that you are placing Z, right? So this is another usage. So even if you are using a conjunction, you need to put a comma before the conjunction while you're making a list. Now, please do keep this in mind. The list should have, so wherever you are penning it down, add this additional points. List should have at least three items, right? So this rule is not applicable for two. So if there are two items, you're simply going to write X and Y. So this is going to be correct. You're not going to write it like this, right? So this is going to be incorrect. I hope I make sense. So list should have at least three items while we are applying this rule, right? I hope I make sense, everybody. So quickly jot down this rule, and then we are going to proceed ahead. Great. So I hope we are clear with the usage. So you can see this example. I have juices, shakes, cold drinks, and cookies for the party. So before and also we are placing a comma, right? Now let's learn the second important point. So this is very interesting. This is to set apart non-essential clauses. So non-essential clauses are also called non-restrictive clauses. That means that part of the sentence that's just providing an extra or additional information and is not impacting the flow of ideas. Too theoretical, let's see by an example. Let's see this rule considering an example. So take the sentence which is there on the board. Mother Teresa, an epitome of peace, won Nobel Prize. So just try reading the sentence without this part. Mother Teresa won Nobel Peace Prize. The idea is clear. That means this sentence, this part of the sentence is not contributing much, right? And this is an additional information, or we can do without this particular information, right? So this is not going to impact our total understanding of the entire idea. So this particular part, we give it a special name and we call it a non-restrictive. It is a name that we give. So we can surround this information by commas on both the sides. Are you able to see? There's a comma here and there is a comma here. It should be surrounded by commas on both the sides. So first, of course, usage, you have seen that it is used as a go punctuation. We have already discussed this. Second, after, whenever you're making a list. And the third is around unnecessary information or non-essential clauses, or you can also call them non-restrictive clauses, right? So I hope I make sense. This is clear to everybody. So let's further proceed. Now, we can also use the stop the go punctuation or the commas after an introductory phrase on an idea. So like you can see in the first innings, Kohli made a century. So this is the example which is my favorite and we have already discussed it. And we can also use it before conjunctions, like for the list of fanboys. I have already told you that whenever you're using comma followed by fanboys, you can use it to separate two complete ideas or two independent clauses. So Roger is an intelligent boy, he works hard, this part is complete, this part is complete, and you're using comma followed by and to separate two complete ideas, right? So I hope we are clear with this part, everybody, whoever is attending the class. I hope we are comfortable, we are good to go ahead. Now, here we are going to talk about apostrophes. So what are apostrophes? This is what we call apostrophe, right? This is how we are writing it. So apostrophes are used for two reasons. One is to show contraction, right? So let me tell you how do we use it for contraction. So if I'll say John's car, so whose car? John Key car, right? Or if I say Neha's bag, so whose bag are we talking about? Neha's bag, right? Or if I say, people's prime minister, so people is a plural term, right? So if it is not ending by s, again you can use apostrophe to show possession, people's prime minister, right? And we can also use, if it's a plural term that ends with s, tiger's cub, so tiger's k cub, right? So that's how you're using apostrophe. So I just explained the first reason before, which is possession, to show belongingness or association, right? And the second is contraction, right? So instead of cannot, I'm writing can't, or I'm writing I am. So all this becomes what? The usage where we are using apostrophes for contractions, right? So let's see. These are so many examples and I'm sure you must be using it in your day-to-day discussions, and these are very frequently seen, very often seen. So like I'll say they apostrophe re, that means they are, or don't means do not, or did not means did not, or can't, right? Or like simple I am is I am. I'm sure you must have seen so many of such usages in your day-to-day discussions. So this is for contraction, right? She, so she apostrophe s would have two meanings, either she has or she is. That after reading the sentence you'll be able to very easily interpret. I apostrophe double l, that means I will. You apostrophe double l means you will, so that's the contraction. He apostrophe double L means he will, and she apostrophe double L means she will. So these are few examples which you must be using in your day-to-day discussions where we are using apostrophe, right? So let's further see some more examples. We will, they will. So let apostrophe s, this is very frequently used. So this means let us, right? Won't means will not, wouldn't means would not, and he has or he is, right? So these are few examples where we're using apostrophe as contraction. Second is very important, like I just gave you an idea before, that we use apostrophe to show possession. So we usually use apostrophes with for possession with nouns, right? So we usually see that the contraction is done with the pronouns, but for possession we usually use apostrophes with nouns. Let's take some examples. So I'll say Ralph's car. So Ralph, so basically it is for car or key in Hindi, right? So keep it very simple. Ralph key car, Shirley key dress, Roger car racket, right? So this is how we are using it, and we are using it to show possession. right? So in order to make it plural, so it's if it's a plural term, right? S ending noun. So teachers is an S ending noun, students is an S ending noun. So you're simply going to put an apostrophe without S, right? If it is an S ending thing. So please just note it down. This is very, very important. Some of the students mess it here. So maybe you can just write the examples and you can mention it that you're simply using an apostrophe after the term and you're not putting apostrophe S. Everybody please just note it down and then we are going to further proceed. Great. So let's further proceed. Please note this down that possessive pronouns do not use apostrophe. Like what are possessive pronouns? His, her, yours, right? Mine, my. So when I'm saying this that it is my car, my is already showing possessions. We're using an apostrophe. This is entirely wrong. Please don't make this mistake. This is a very commonly tested point and it is very easy because possessive pronouns, what are they doing? They are themselves trying to show possession, right? As it is reflected from the term itself. So possessive pronouns do not use apostrophe, right? Now, coming to the second point, it is a contraction of it is. So, at times they might just check you that its is a possessive pronoun and it apostrophe is it is. There is no other variation. If you are seeing like this, or if you are seeing any other variation apart from both this, doesn't exist in the language, right? So, don't just mess it. It is again very, very commonly seen question in SAT, right? You will definitely get such sort of a questions. And again, the exams, in fact, this is very common. You might also get it in your SSC entrances or POs. It's a very commonly tested error and it is so interesting and easy also, right? So there is no rocket science here. Just keep in your mind that it apostrophe s is a contraction of it is, and its is a possessive pronoun, and then there is no other, a variation to this particular form, right? So here, this is a very interesting part, and you are going to place appropriate punctuation. You can identify the non-essential words or phrases in the following sentences, and if whatever you feel appropriate will do justice to the discussion of the punctuations that we have done so far, place the punctuation marks accordingly. So please do that. So there are three sentences. I'll give you 3 minutes, and then we are going to discuss. At times, if you feel like that there is no need to use a comma, you can also choose that also as your answer choice. So let's take a look at the sentences. Patterson Tower, the recently completed office building, is a monument to concrete ugliness, right? So if you'll see this particular portion, this is unnecessary. We can do without this. So we are going to surround comma on both the sides, right? The movie that I wanted to see is no longer playing. So if you will see that I wanted to see is important, because then we would not know that which movie are we talking about. So this is something which is essential, right? So this is not non-essential. Please keep this in mind, because if I remove this phrase, or if I surround commas here, then you would not know that which of the movie are we talking about. So we don't want to place any commas here, right? Each person who enters the contest must send in two box tops. So if you will see each person who enters, so if you will just say that, who each person must send in two box tops. So who? This, the ones who entered the context. So again, this is something which is important and you can't mark it as non-essential. So out of all the three sentences that we have studied so far, in the first sentence, you can put the comma around the recently completed office building. So that is where you are going to do justice, right? So let's further see these four sentences. So quickly take a few minutes and try applying the commas wherever you feel are needed and would be most appropriate. Right, you know the concept. So just learn the application so that it is easy for you to absorb. So take a look at the first sentence. John decided nonetheless not to buy the car. So you'll see nonetheless is not needed. You can surround it by commas. The Mississippi River, which once flowed north into Hudson Bay, flows south into the Gulf of Mexico. So even if you remove this part, it is still clear that we're talking about Mississippi rivers, right? So there is no confusion. So we can surround this information by commas on both the sides. Your cat watching the dog intently walked carefully, right? So watching the dog intently, right? So your cat. So we already know whose cat are we talking about. So this is an additional information. We can surround it, this information by comma on both the sides. The cat that was watching the dog most intently walked carefully. So here we know that this particular phrase is giving us the specific instance that we are talking about which cat. So this is needed in the sentence and this is not unnecessary, right? So we are not going to place comma anywhere. I hope we are clear with these sentences. Let's try 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so let's start the discussion. TV commercials sometimes the most entertaining part of program are essentially flashy corporate propaganda. So sometimes showcase the most entertaining parts of program. So if you will see, uh, the most interesting part of program are essentially flashy corporate propaganda, right? So this is something that can be surrounded by commas. The dam project, which many in the government consider to be a sign of national strength, will destroy hundreds of villages and vast areas of wildlife habitat along the river banks. So, which dam project? This is needed, which many governments consider. So, this is something which is not unnecessary, so we can't surround it by commas. The free jazz musician Sony Ra claimed to be from Saturn. So if you will just, remove this particular free jazz word here, the musician Sun Ra. So we know who are we talking about. So this can be surrounded by commas on both the sides. Right. So now it's time to solve some questions based on apostrophe. So you already know the usage. Please try these questions and then we are going to discuss. Okay, so let's take a look at the sentences. Who's the party's candidate for vice president this year? So we are going to place an apostrophe here. Who apostrophe is, that means who is the, right? So that's how we are going to place the party. So party का candidate, यहाँ पे possession है, यहाँ पे contraction है, right? Take a look at the next one. The fox had its right for leg caught securely in the trap's jaws. So if you will see, has its, so this is right here, you don't need it apostrophe, so this is right. Our neighbor's car, so neighbor's की car, यहाँ पे apostrophe चाहिए, s ending है, like I already explained it to you. So if it's a plural term that ends with s, you simply need to place an apostrophe. In an old Chrysler, and it is just, and it is, so it is just about to fall apart, so you would need an apostrophe here. The right usage will be it apostrophe s. In 3 weeks time we'll have to begin school again, so we will have to, we apostrophe double l, so we would want to say we will, right? 3 weeks ka time, so weeks ke baad s ending है, so simply going to place an apostrophe after s. Didn't you hear that they are leaving tomorrow? So they apostrophe re, they are leaving tomorrow. Did and n ke baad apostrophe t. Didn't you hear that they are leaving tomorrow? So that would be the right usage, right? So I hope you're clear with all these five questions. Let's further proceed. So take a look at sentence 6. Whenever I think of the stories I read as a child, I remember Cinderella ka glass slipper. So Cinderella apostrophe S, Cinderella's glass slipper, and Snow White ki wicked stepmother. So you would be needing apostrophes here, right? We claim the picnic table was ours, but the Smith's children, so Smith's के बच्चे, so we would need an apostrophe. S ending term है तो बाद में लगा दीजिए. Looked so disappointed that we found another spot. So we are sorted. It's important. So we are wanting to say it apostrophe is. It is important, right? That the kitten learns to find its way home. So this is fine. We don't need an apostrophe here. She did not hear, so this is fine. Hear her children's cry, तो बच्चों का रोना. So apostrophe S. So if it's a plural term not ending with S, so you're going to put an apostrophe S, right? So let's do one more drill and let's place the comma wherever it is needed in the following sentence. So let's see. There was no question that John's painting, a huge, colorful, and ugly mural, was the worst entry in the art exhibition. So, this a huge and ugly mural, just an added additional information. We can surround this information by commas. Werner von Braun Willi Ley and Edward Teller, noted authorities in the field of rocket development, have done much to guide the missile program of United States. So if you will just see noted से लेकर development तक, this is unnecessary because we are already clear with who are we talking about. So you can surround this information by commas. Mr. Credy's ability to say the wrong thing at the wrong time is, I believe, amazing. So here you would be needing the information, so you don't need to place any comma. You can do this drill on your own, and I'm sure now you're clear with the usage. So let's come to the second interesting part, which should not take a lot of time, because we've already done a lot about this in our junior classes. Very easy concept, but again, just in order to get hold of the basic understanding, we are going to touch base. So we talk about articles a and they are these three articles. So the when we are talking about specific, and a and an are usually preceded by singular count nouns and refer to one thing, right? So whenever you are having the sound of consonants, you're going to place a, and whenever you have a sound of a vowel, you're going to place an, right? So please understand, usually how did we learn in our junior classes that a should be coming before the consonants and an should be coming before the vowels, right? So now you're going to slightly make this definition more polished, that a is going to come before the consonant sound and an is going to come before the vowel sound. So let's take some examples. Like if you're going to see words like union, so you are going to see yellow जैसे की sound आती है. एक बार yellow बोल के देखो और union बोलो, तो कॉन्सोनेंट की साउंड है, वॉवल की साउंड नहीं है, इसलिए इनके आगे आप यूज करते हो, राइट? इंपॉर्टेंट है, ध्यान रखो. जैसे एक तो बड़ा कॉमन सा एग्जांपल है ऑनेस्ट, राइट? तो एच की साउंड नहीं है, वॉवल की साउंड है, इसलिए आप लिखेंगे एन ऑनेस्ट मैन, राइट? सो एन ऑनरी पर्सन, राइट? एन आर. So why? Because the sound is not of H. Say hen and say R. So you'll understand R is not having the sound of a consonant, but it has got a sound of vowel. So in this case, what are we going to do? We are going to place an if it is a vowel sound, and if it is a consonant sound. So you can make a list of these words, because then the questions usually come from them. Mark these and quickly pen it down. These words are going to take a before them, because these are giving us a sound of a consonant and not of a vowel, though they begin with the vowel. So please quickly read this and then we are going to proceed further. I hope you have read it and I hope you have absorbed the concept. So let's further proceed. Right, so I have already explained you. Then when the first word is silent and we give the vowel sound, then also we use an instead. Like the usual, we are breaking the usual definition barrier that if you are using a before a consonant sound and using an before a vowel sound, right? So just take a look at this particular part. We've already discussed this. Just walk through the slide so that you are able to absorb and you feel more confident about the discussion. Okay, let's further proceed. Now let's come to the next article, the. So the is for specific, when we are having a specific discussion, right? So when I said the Earth is a beautiful planet, there is unique, when we're talking about unique things. So there is only one Earth. Let's say the next sentence. The teacher asked me a question. So who are we talking about? When I say the teacher, when I say a teacher asked me a question, that means I'm talking about any teacher. But when I say the teacher asked me a question, that means I'm specifically talking about one teacher that I knew, right? So we are using the when we are assuming that the speaker or the listener is familiar with the same person, place that we are talking about, right? So the water in the stream is cold. So you can say water in the stream is cold. But when I say the water, then you're specifically talking about the water that's running in the stream, right? Like if I say I like apples, so in general I'm saying that I like apples, right? All apples. But if I say the apples on the tree are not ripe, so I'm specifically pointing out on the apples that are there on the tree, right? I hope you are clear with the usage. So these are a few questions that you can get, and these are few interesting questions that you can arrange, alphabetically depending on the expectation. So you can solve these questions, and when we see use the is used with the ordinal. So the first amendment, the third floor, right? Or when we are talking about school, colleges, universities, the School of Fine Arts, the University of Southern California, right? Or whenever we talk about oceans, seas, rivers, gulfs, plural lakes. For singular lakes, we don't. For mountain ranges, we say the Smoky Mountains, the Andes, right? So further, if we are going to see, we don't use the with cardinal numbers after nouns. So if you say a first, second, third, these are ordinals, and one, two, three are cardinals. So for cardinals, we don't use the. And schools and colleges, universities, which begin with the proper noun, right? So Arizona, Bardstown Community College. So it's not because starting with, these are all starting with the proper noun, so you're not going to use the. But when we talk about the School of Great Lakes, so in this case, it is starting with the. So the University of California. I hope you've understood the difference, right? For plural lakes, we use the. For singular lakes, we don't use the. And if it is talking about a range, we use the. When we talk about single mounts, then we don't use the, right? So we use the with wars. Then when we talk about the United States, the United Kingdom, the Great Britain, where it's an exception to the rule, but we use the with sun, moon. But for world wars, we don't use the, right? And the countries which are preceded by new or an adjective such as direction, we don't use the. वन वर्ड कंट्रीज के साथ आप द नहीं यूज करते, कॉन्टिनेंट्स के साथ, स्टेट्स के साथ द यूज नहीं होगा, राइट? प्लैनेट्स के साथ, स्पोर्ट्स के साथ, हॉलीडेज के साथ, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट कॉन्सेप्ट्स के साथ द का यूसेज नहीं होता, right? So that brings us to an end of the discussion. So please keep on revising the rules, keep working hard, and don't forget consistency is the key. I hope you really like the session. Please help spread the word. Please take care. All the best.